Welcome. Today is October 15th, 2010, and you're watching Oracle TV. I'm excited this morning because we have a very special guest on our show that I'll be introducing here in a moment. But before I do that, I want all of our viewers to know that this show is going to be a very powerful show. You're going to learn how to find out about how to live your life path. This particular author has written a book, a new book that's just been out, and I got a chance to read it myself. So I've got lots of questions. But before we get into that, I'd like to remind all of you that you can rate this show. At the bottom of our Oracle TV show page, there are a number of buttons. You can rate us, give us a thumbs up, or you can give us a rating of 1 to 10 on how well you like the show, how well we're doing. We want to hear from you, so definitely write us by rating us and then giving us a testimony. So you can actually fill out our testimony on our website and give us your feedback, because your feedback helps us make improvements to this show. Okay. The second thing that I want to remind all of our viewers is that if you want to interact with myself or the guest or other viewers in the actual show as we're broadcasting, you need to have your Ustream account. You have to go over to Ustream, get your account, and come back to our site. And you can actually log in the interactive chat and chat with us. You can ask questions, you can make comments, and we will be taking your comments and questions throughout the show if something comes up for you that you want to hear or you need an answer to. So with that, I'd like to go right into introducing my special guest. His name is Charbel Tadros. He's an author, a mentor, and a healer. He is from Lebanon, and he's going to be telling us all about his life, what led him to write this wonderful book called The Destined Journey, and what the connection is of that book to the Angels in Training program that he also produced. And he'll also share with us what he's doing with a number of his colleagues over in Beirut, and I'm trying to remember the other location, but he will definitely give us all the details. But he's in Lebanon. He's going to tell us all about the Seekers of Wisdom and what that website is all about, how you can get engaged and be involved to be a better you, to help you awaken yourself and live your true life purpose. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'd like to thank Charbel for joining me this morning, all the way from Lebanon. He's right here online with me this morning so that he can answer any questions that I have, any questions from our viewers, and we can get more enlightened and become more awakened and be on a purposeful journey towards our greatness. So good morning, Charbel. How are you?
I'm fine. Actually, good evening here.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here.
Okay. So I'm happy to have you on the show, and I'm
I'm happy
glad.
to be here.
Excellent. I'm sure our viewers will love to watch what you have to say. Tell us all about your wonderful book, The Destined Journey, and I'm going to give a quick preview of that image, The Destined Journey. And if you could for us, Charbel, could you give us a little bit about your background and then go right into telling us why did you have the inspiration, or where did the inspiration come from for writing this book, The Destined Journey, and why it's so important for people to be aware of the message that's being shared in this book.
Okay. Well, first of all, I was born here in Lebanon, in Romana, in 1988. I'm only 22 years old, but I consider that my real life actually started when I was around 13 years old. We were in school, some friends and I, and we decided to start doing research on paranormal activity. So we decided to start with the Bermuda Triangle. Then from then on, we moved on to Atlantis, then to ghosts, then to UFOs, and so forth, until we got to crop circles. And then from crop circles, things got more spiritual. Well, at first, I couldn't accept what I was reading because I am from a Christian background. But then, as more things kept coming up, and I got more books from, unexpected people and unexpected ways, and these books kept calling me to wisdom and not just to accepting what I am in. So from then on, my life started in spirituality. I tried to found the Seekers of Wisdom in 2004, but the actual Seekers of Wisdom wasn't started until sometime around the mid 2006, and everything from then on went very smoothly, and my personal life changed a lot. I used to be a very nervous person, a very angry person, but then through spirituality and through meeting lots of spiritual people, my life became a lot easier, a lot smoother, and with a lot more positive thinking. And with this positive thinking, I was able to achieve a lot, and I was able to learn a lot, and all of what I learned, I experienced, I wrote it in my book.
Excellent, excellent. So, so would you say that this book is a true story?
It is not a true story. It's based on true learnings or true insights, but the story itself is not true.
Okay. So the story is fictitious, but the learning process that you went through
Yes.
is is what you're telling in the story, and how you understood your personal life journey, and what you came to understand the knowledge, or come to a comprehensive understanding of life in this story.
Yeah, so the story itself is running between fiction and reality because I use the elements from reality, historical elements and historical people, and I mixed them with people from my own imagination so that the story can make more sense. Uh, we can give a little summary about the story if you'd like.
Yes, could you do that, please?
Yes, sure. So the story begins in India with with the person who's talking about himself, about his story. His name is Vishnu, and he used to have a guru, and he was himself on a spiritual quest, but he didn't know that his spiritual quest lay outside his own village until his guru enlightened him to this, and his guru taught him about signs and about how to follow signs. So he started following these signs, and these signs led him to meet one of his friends, which we will meet during the story, and his name is Hao Chan. He's from China. So his journey takes him from China to Turkey to different places around the ancient world, and he meets many different kings, and these kings or rulers, they had different insights to teach them. Some taught him about astrology, some taught him about science, some taught him about forces of order and chaos, some taught him about love, and then with something happened and made him go to Iraq, and he was lost there in Baghdad, and there he met uh, the love of his life accidentally, and they got married in their own way, and then he had a child from her, and he thought that his life had to end there, but actually a few years later someone came back to him and reminded him that his journey isn't over yet and he still has something to do. So they keep following their own quest, the quest of the three kings that they met, and these kings were following a star, and they thought that this star would lead them to the birth of the new avatar. Avatar is the incarnation of God on earth, or as a savior, so that he would lead the people of earth back to their own reality and their own truth. And from there, they continue their journey on and follow the star until they reach the avatar and they meet him and they get their questions answered.
Great. And that's what I remember. And I really enjoyed the fact that he met progressively as he went along his journey, that he actually began to meet more spiritually enlightened people, or what I would call beings, because we're all beings just in human form, right?
Yes, exactly. Actually, when anyone would start on a spiritual journey, you can't believe how many spiritual people he will start to meet. I know from the friends that I have, those that decided to go on with me in the spiritual journey, uh, as soon as they start in it and they go deeper within, they would meet people just out of the blue, and these people are spiritual and have new insights for them.
Yes. So, it's funny that you mentioned that, because what's coming up for me is a concept that I know as living above time. And what you're
Yes,
describing right there is a key element of how to distinguish and identify when you're living above time. When you know certain things about your journey that doesn't seem that aren't coincident. They seem destined. They seem things
yes,
that are happening because it's a natural process of the course of the life that you've chosen to live right now in this form, right? So
exactly, exactly.
living above time is a concept that, and we're going to actually have a show on it, but that's another
Nice.
topic.
Yeah. Some
But
other authors, they call it synchronicity,
yes, some authors
such
call it
as James
synchronicity.
Redfield. Yeah.
Yes, yes, synchronicity. And so I'm excited about that. So you took this journey yourself, and the story is emerged out of life experiences that you had. That's correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's get into some of the theories that you kind of hit on and touch point on in the book. And one of those theories, which I definitely want to share with our viewers here, is the theory that there are certain kinds of forces that are going on in our world. Not only in our world, but within our own being. That we struggle. We're at conflict a lot in our lives and in the world itself because of these forces. And these forces you called aromatic, or am I saying that right?
Yes,
Aromatic,
that's right. I remember.
aromatic, luciferic, and angelic. So,
Mhm.
so could you give our viewers a little more deeper understanding of each of those three forces, what those forces are, what significance they have into our lives as individuals and collectively as a human species, as well as how we need to be aware of which forces are governing our lives at different points in our time, and so in our life, so or at different situations that we might be dealing with in our life. Could you expound on each one, starting with the aromatic forces?
Yes, of course. Ahriman was the ancient god of order, and he symbolizes the obsession with complete order, which is unchanged and which cannot and should not be changed. Uh, if we want to take it on a world level, for example, machinery and the excessive use of machinery is an example of an excess of Ahrimanic forces. Or if we want to take it on a personal level, when someone is obsessed with order and wants everything to be orderly and unchanged, like a person inside his own shell and doesn't want to go out of it, that person is under a great influence from Ahrimanic forces.